Long before spears, axes, or proper knives, life for Daro's family meant sunrise fear and sunset relief if they survived. Their home was not really a home, just a cluster of rocks at the foot of tangled jungle, beneath the shadow of a sleeping volcano. Every step, every shadow could become life or death. The dawn was cold and damp. Daro's breath hung in the air. The only warmth came from the tiny fire his father Bora had struggled to keep burning with dry moss and just a little luck. The effort of making fire always left Bora exhausted. Nearby, Daro's little brother Mino chased a bug, hungry and distracted from the empty ache in his belly. Keela, their mother, carefully scraped at tree bark hunting for edible grubs. Mara, eldest sister, fingered old snake skins, wondering if they'd make strong snares for giant lizards, another wild idea born from hunger. That hunger was a sharp living thing, sharper than teeth, a pain that bent their bodies and shortened tempers. Everyone kept watch for fruits, roots, anything, because no animal was safe from the monsters that also hunted these lands. The Komodo dragon, king of lizards, was silent, huge and deadly. Legs as thick as Daro's body, tongue flicking like a dark threat. Sometimes people found its footprints, sometimes its enormous scat, sometimes just the silence, as even the birds and monkeys vanished when it came near. This morning, sparrows took off with warning chirps. Daro knew what that meant. Quick, careful, he scanned the grass, heart pounding, every muscle bracing for the worst. A slow-moving shadow slid between ferns. Daro's mother hissed, "Close, don't move." The Komodo sniffed the air, black eyes blinking in the sun. It was hunting, just as they were. For endless minutes, no one dared to breathe. Keela finally motioned for everyone to slowly climb a tree. She had learned this from bitter experience, once watching a Komodo hunt a monkey to its death. They clambered up, hands scratched by bark, but alive. From above, Daro watched the Komodo circle their camp, tongue testing for scents. It could wait for hours, patient as stone. The family huddled together on the branch, hungry but smart, gripping each other tightly. Down below, the Komodo grew bored and wandered away. Hours passed. When it was safe, the climb down was slow and tense. Daro's arms shook, but inside he felt victory, a battle won by patience, not by strength. Later that day, when Mara and Daro went to search for water, they saw another kind of danger, deep gouges on an old log, the Komodo's mark. Mara found a turtle shell, empty but useful. She wanted to use it to carry water, but the jungle's silence made her pause. Suddenly, a family of wild pigs raced through the brush, squealing, the Komodo close behind, silent, invisible, pure hunger. The siblings hid behind the log. They watched, wide-eyed, as the Komodo lunged and caught the slowest piglet. The end was swift and brutal. Afterward, even the flies were quiet. Mara whispered, "If it's full, maybe we can get water now." Daro nodded, but planned an escape route before they moved. The scent of blood was strong enough to attract other predators too. By the creek, Daro scooped muddy, cool water into the shell. He remembered times when they had tried as little children to chase off smaller lizards with rocks, but that never worked on Komodos. Fire and height were their only real tools. Back at camp, the family shared watery roots, careful not to be loud, barely mumbling thanks. Their voices were small, afraid of alerting the jungle to their presence. At dusk, Bora had placed sharp stones around the camp, not for real protection, just to make any lizard steps harder and noisier. The family gathered dry leaves and tried to keep the fire bright. Mara broke old branches to build a smoky barricade, while Keela layered bitter-smelling sap around the rocks, hoping the stench would confuse any dragon. As darkness fell, eyes glowed in the trees, owls, monkeys, and maybe more Komodos, waiting. The air smelled of burnt wood, salt and sweat. Everyone took turns standing guard, shivering, listening for the scrape of claw or tail. The jungle was eerily quiet as complete night settled in. Shadows stretched across the camp, painting the world in haunting blues and deep black. Daro had just finished layering thorny branches near the fire when everyone's nerves went tight, sentences cut short, movements careful. Suddenly, a heavy scraping sound echoed from the edge of the clearing, dry leaves stirring, stones tumbling. Mara's breath caught. Minogue gripped Daro's hand, eyes wide. Through the underbrush, the giant Komodo dragon emerged with slow, deliberate steps. It was huge, longer than a grown man, muscles rippling beneath thick scales that glistened darkly under the firelight. Its tongue flicked in and out, tasting the air, sensing fear. The dragon moved in silence, save for the crunch of earth and occasional hiss. Its head turned slightly, eyes black, soulless, locked on the group. Daro remembered stories. A single swipe from its tail could break bone, its jaws could crush rocks, and its venomous bite spelled doom for anything unlucky enough to be caught. Bora motioned everyone behind the smoldering fire. "Stay together, move slowly, make noise but not too much," he murmured. The family picked up branches, waved them to look bigger, eyes never leaving the beast. The Komodo paused just outside the ring of firelight. Its tongue flicked again. It was calculating. Was this prey worth the risk? Daro spotted old wounds, scars on its flank. This monster was a survivor too. For endless moments, no one moved. Sweat dripped down Daro's back. The dragon's tail swept the ground, stirring dust. Suddenly it advanced 2 deliberate steps forward, head low. Mara, trembling, threw a dry stick toward its claws. The Komodo jerked its head, distracted but not deterred. Keela snatched smoldering wood and extended it out. The dragon recoiled from the smoke, but pressed forward on another side, moving with the patience of a hunter who knew time was always in its favor. Daro's mind raced. Could they outlast it? Were the stories right? Was sound and fire enough? He grabbed the turtle shell, banged it against a rock, sending out a sharp echo, hoping to confuse the monster's senses. The beast circled, peering at every movement. Suddenly, it lashed out with its tail, flinging a cloud of ash and grit. The family gasped and shuffled back, but the ring of fire remained. Bora, sensing a chance, piled more dry grass onto the embers. Flame jumped up, crackling skyward. The Komodo hesitated, one slow blink, then another. Its thick, forked tongue darted near the flames, but it wouldn't cross. Daro noticed how its belly pressed to the cool ground, a stealth tactic, like invisible snakes hiding before the pounce. Time felt elastic. Every heartbeat stretched. Mino started to whimper, but Keela hushed him gently. Mara tossed another stick. This time the Komodo's massive jaws snapped around it, crunching it to splinters. Its hunger and power were undeniable. Yet the fire glowed stubbornly, smoke swirling. The group kept the flames high, using every last dry leaf and chipped bit of wood. Bora shouted, low and forceful. Daro joined in, their combined voices reverberating through the dark. The Komodo took another step, claws digging in. Then a distant howl, another predator or perhaps a challenge, echoed over the jungle. The dragon paused, raising its head, listening. Was it alone? Was competition coming? After a long, dangerous pause, it turned, surveying the family with one last cold stare. Without warning, it retreated, tail swinging, vanishing into the brush, leaving deep grooves in the earth. The family slumped to the ground, exhausted but triumphant, not by brute strength, but by cleverness, fire, patience, and togetherness. They had survived. Daro gazed at the embers, feeling the rush of relief and pride. The lesson was clear. Before weapons, brains and bonding mattered most. The Komodo's defeat was etched as much by their unity as by their fear. By dawn,